Are you drowning in a sea of processed foods, struggling with health issues, wondering, how did I get here? Join me today as we journey from the shelves of today's supermarkets all the way back to the accidental origins of one of America's favorite processed foods, Kellogg's Corn Flakes. You'll discover the surprising religious motivations behind Harvey Kellogg's anti-meat message, the role of government agencies like the USDA and FDA in shaping our modern diet, and the potential conflicts of interest that influenced our food landscape. I believe it's important to learn from our past so that we have a better future. But this isn't just a history lesson. It's also a story of transformation, a journey to healing, and it's time to understand where our food came from and discover a powerful path back to wellness right here on the Carnivore Science Channel. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Take a look around you, your fridge, your pantry, the aisles of any supermarket, and what do you see? A mind-boggling, overwhelming ocean of processed food. Everywhere you look, from breakfast cereals to frozen dinners to snack bars to sugary drinks, the sheer volume is just staggering. We're talking thousands, probably tens of thousands of different concoctions, all designed for convenience, taste, and a long shelf life. And while they promise convenience, what are they really delivering? For so many of us, it's a silent, insidious health crisis. We're facing an epidemic of chronic diseases, obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune conditions, and a host of inflammatory issues. And I firmly believe that this tidal wave of processed food is the culprit. It is the contributor. It is the thing that's causing us to be sick. But how did we get here? How did our diets become so utterly dominated by these artificial creations? To understand that, we need to rewind the clock, go back to the very origins of processed food, and uncover a story that's far more peculiar and surprising than you might imagine. They say those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So let's learn. Our story begins not in a corporate boardroom, but in a sanitarium in Battle Creek, Michigan, in the late 19th century. This is where we meet Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. Dr. Kellogg wasn't just any physician. He was a deeply religious Seventh-day Adventist, a health reformer, and a staunch vegetarian. He ran the Battle Creek Sanitarium, a health resort that attracted the rich and famous, all seeking his radical health treatments, which included things like enemas, hydrotherapy, and of course, a strictly vegetarian diet. Now, the famous cornflake itself? Well, that was an accident. In 1894, John Harvey and his brother Will Keith Kellogg were trying to find a wholesome, digestible vegetarian food for their patients. They were experimenting with boiling wheat, and one day they left a batch to sit for too long. When they finally rolled it out, instead of a smooth sheet, they got individual flakes. They toasted them, served them to their patients, and boom, a new food was born. They later tried it with corn, and cornflakes, as we know them, came into existence. In the beginning, they were really hard, and that's another reason it had to have milk, because they were hard enough to where you couldn't actually chew them unless you soaked them in milk. So, fun fact. But here's where it gets interesting and a little uncomfortable for some people. Dr. Kellogg's fervent promotion of a vegetarian, anti-meat diet wasn't just about physical health. It was deeply intertwined with his religious beliefs, particularly those concerning purity and temperance. He believed that certain foods, especially meat, were stimulating and led to sinful thoughts and behaviors, like masturbation.
I said it. Louis C.K. was a very good friend of mine before he died in that terrible masturbation accident.
Yeah, you heard that right. His dietary recommendations, including bland foods like his new cornflakes, were intended to curb appetites, dampen passions, and promote a more chaste lifestyle. So, one of the foundational processed foods in America had its roots not just in nutrition, but in a very specific, almost puritanical moral framework designed to influence behavior. A fascinating, if somewhat unsettling, origin story. Wouldn't you agree? Now, the story doesn't stop with Dr. Kellogg. How did these ideas and the concept of processed foods become so mainstream and even government sanctioned? This is where we need to look at the institutions like the FDA and the USDA. For decades, the dietary guidelines promoted by these powerful government agencies have emphasized a diet high in grains, fruits, and vegetables, with a comparatively smaller emphasis on meat and healthy fats. The iconic food pyramid and now My Plate have shaped generations of eating habits. While these guidelines are presented as purely scientific, it's crucial to ask, are there potential conflicts of interest? The food industry, a massive lobbying force, has a vested interest in promoting foods that are cheap to produce, have a long shelf life, and are easily mass marketed. Often, you guessed it, processed foods. Consider the immense subsidies given to the grain farmers in the U.S. This makes ingredients for processed foods incredibly cheap. When you have a system that financially incentivizes the production of certain crops, and then government agencies that recommend a diet heavy in those crops, it's hard not to connect the dots. Was it truly about optimal health, or were economic and industrial interests quietly shaping the narrative? The narrative became lean meat is good, but too much red meat is bad. Saturated fat is bad. Cholesterol is bad. And what were we told to replace them with? Often highly refined carbohydrates, vegetable oils, and yes, more processed foods. The echoes of Kellogg's original anti-meat bland food philosophy, albeit without the explicit religious fervor, seems to have subtly permeated our official dietary advice. This historical context is vital, but it's not just academic for me. This story hits home in a very personal way. For years, I was that person. I ate the processed foods, I followed the healthy guidelines, and I was absolutely miserable. I was trapped in a cycle of chronic health issues. Insomnia was my constant companion, leaving me exhausted and foggy brained. Fibromyalgia pain was an everyday reality, a deep ache that never truly left. My joints screamed with arthritis pain, making simple movements a challenge on some days. I was on medications, narcotic, for over 15 years, just trying to manage the symptoms. Never really fixing anything, though. My quality of life was plummeting, and I felt utterly defeated. I remember thinking, this is just my life now. This is aging. This is normal. But deep down, I knew that something wasn't right. I was eating what I thought was healthy, whole grains, lean proteins, lots of heart-healthy processed snacks. But my body was failing me. And it was around this time that I started to truly question everything I thought I knew about food. I started researching, digging into the history, and understanding the science behind modern processed foods. As a chemist, the light bulb went off, and I couldn't believe I didn't see it before. The more I learned about the additives, the sugars, the refined carbohydrates, and the inflammatory seed oils, the more I realized that the very foods that I was told were convenient and even healthy were slowly and steadily eroding my health. They were causing inflammation, disrupting my hormones, and starving my body of essential nutrients. I was feeding my diseases, not fighting them. It It was a long journey, and it took a radical shift in perspective, but I decided to take a leap. I decided to completely abandon processed foods, and I mean completely. No more cereal, no more snack bars, no more pasta, no more seed oils. Instead, I embraced a carnivore diet. Yep, a carnivore diet. For me, that meant focusing on whole, nutrient-dense animal foods: beef, lamb, pork, poultry, fish, eggs, and a little full-fat dairy. It sounds extreme to some, but after everything I'd learned and everything I've tried, it felt like the most logical, evolutionary, appropriate way to eat. I do believe now it's the proper human diet. And the results? They have been nothing short of amazing. As far as my laundry list of medical issues, some were gone in as little as 3 days. Others followed, with most everything being resolved in under 2 months. And the biggest victory? I got off all my medications, every single one. My doctors were astonished, and frankly, so was I. My energy levels soared, my mental clarity improved dramatically, and finally, I felt like myself again, or rather, a much healthier, more vibrant version of myself than I had been in years. I feel like I'm in my 20s. It wasn't just about feeling better, it was about truly healing. By removing the inflammatory processed foods and nourishing my body with what it truly needed: bioavailable protein, healthy fats, and essential micronutrients found in meat, my body was able to repair itself. So what does my story and this history lesson mean for you? It means challenging the status quo. It means looking beyond the convenient packaging and questioning the narratives that we've been fed for generations. I highly recommend the carnivore diet for weight loss, healing, and overall well-being. That was my path, and it worked wonders for me. But even if carnivore is not something that you feel is right for you right now, I'm urging you to reconsider the profound impact that processed food has on your health. Take a step back, examine your pantry, read the labels, and most importantly, listen to your body. If you're struggling with chronic health issues, if you're tired of being tired all the time, or if you feel like something just isn't quite right, maybe it's time to explore what a diet free from processed foods actually feels like. Our health isn't doomed to repeat the mistakes of history. We have the power to learn, adapt, and reclaim our well-being. What are your thoughts on processed foods? Have you had a similar health journey? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.